You're trying to grab bananas. Maybe you're trying to help your child through a meltdown in the middle of the frozen yogurt aisle. Maybe you're trying to just hand over his iPad for 10 seconds of peace and someone says it. Could you calm your child down? Cue the internal scream. That goes for any parent. But for the parent of a child that is autistic, this is a common occurrence. Welcome to the Be Mighty Mom podcast. I'm your host, Ash, autism and rare disease parent, boundary setter, and your voice of fierce, honest truth. This isn't just support, it's a movement where we ditch the fluff, get honest about autism and rare disease, and what it really takes to advocate for our kids, especially with family. Today, we're diving into one of the most common, frustrating, and totally unhelpful comments autistic families hear while out in public. People come at you with confusion, judgment, or plain old ignorance. It helps to have a script in your pocket that keeps your power and your peace. Let's get into it. Why do people say stuff? Let's zoom out for a second. According to a 2023 survey by the Autism Society, I'm going to read this. 78% of autistic individuals and caregivers say they've experienced a public comment or interaction that made them feel misunderstood or judged. That number rises for families with children who don't display stereotypical signs of autism, or whose autism is misunderstood because it doesn't, quote, look like Rain Man. And yeah, I've heard that comment before. Why? Because autism is invisible. It's a neurological difference, not a costume. People are still walking around with outdated ideas that autism always means a certain look, behavior, or expression. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. As the saying goes, if you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism, because autism looks different on every person. So here are some quick scripts for common comments. Let's talk strategy. You're in public. Your child is flapping, stimming, maybe happy, or maybe they're having a meltdown, maybe doing nothing at all. Someone makes a comment. Here are a few common ones and a few different ways to respond. Comment 1, and this one is probably the most common for my family. He doesn't look autistic. Now here are some response options based off of how you want to react. Kind and educational. You can say, well, autism doesn't have a look. It's a neurological difference, not a visible trait. You can do a gentle redirect. We all experience the world in different ways. He's exactly who he's meant to be. Mic drop mama bear style, which is kind of my go-to these days. There's no one way to look autistic, just like there's no one way to be rude in a grocery store. And yeah, I have used that one before. Maybe the location was a little different, but I still used it. Better yet, I had to use it on people who should have known better. Now let's get to comment number 2. Maybe he just needs more discipline. Now, if you're like me and you've heard that one before, you just want to lose your mind because this. Okay, anyways, let's just get into the comments on that one, right? And the options that you can say. So let's say you want to be educational and calm because you're feeling a little calmer today. Maybe your Lexapro kicked in early. Who knows? He's actually autistic, and discipline doesn't change how his brain processes the world. You can advocate on the go. He doesn't need discipline. He needs understanding. Now, there's poetic and punchy. He's not misbehaving. He's communicating in the way he knows how. And if you are the parent of a child that is autistic, you understand that discipline doesn't help because it is true. Their brains are processing at a much higher rate than neurotypicals. So adding more discipline is only going to add more stress, more overwhelm, and it's going to overload their system. They're going to get overstimulated. And guess what? The meltdown is probably going to be worse. Yeah, if you need to send this to somebody who needs to hear it, please do, because I wish I could have sent this to people who needed it long before I had to start this podcast. All right, let's go to comment 3. He seems fine to me. Be direct and gentle. Thank you. He is fine. And he's also autistic. Compassionate reframe. He is fine. And being autistic is part of what makes him that way. I get so upset when people tell me, oh, well, so-and-so thinks so-and-so's child's on the spectrum and they just think something's wrong with him. Why does that mean something has to be wrong with somebody? Like, why do we go straight into that negative part? Why can't that be just something? Why can't that just be something? Like, I look at my son and yeah, I see that he struggles more than others and maybe he is a little bit further behind developmentally. But then I see that he has so much courage. He's so brave and nothing ever stops him from thinking that he can't do something because I'm right there helping him through it. So why does that make him not fine, right? Why does that make him not fine? Ugh, it's so frustrating. But that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you through these difficult conversations and these difficult moments when you just want to pull your hair out and scream at people. I know it's hard, and sometimes it's going to happen, right? Like, it's going to happen. Okay, so here's the thing, because this is going to be a very, very, very true statement I'm about to make based off of my life experience and where I am currently with loved ones, okay? Scripts aren't just for strangers, unfortunately. Sometimes the hardest comments come from the people we love. Grandparents, friends, teachers, people who may mean well, but say the wrong thing. Here are a couple bonus scripts for family faces. Are you sure he's really autistic? Yes, and his diagnosis helps us support him the way he deserves. He'll outgrow it, right? Autism isn't something you outgrow. It's something to grow with. Now, here's the thing I want to add a caveat to, because having a script is great and having these conversations with loved ones is important because we want to be able to share that message and share the beauty that is also autism, right? We want to. However, there are times where you're just tired of it, right? Because you know that it's always going to be combative. You know, it's always going to come back with, well, I read this, or well, so-and-so says this. And it's frustrating. And sometimes a script can only take you so far. Right? A script can only take you so far. So that's when you really need to focus inward, and the kindness kind of has to turn into something else, right? So this is what the power of the scripts is, though, when you're actually able to implement them and put them into real time. They're not just about winning, right? Scripts are not about winning. It's about just helping you get through the situation. They're not about proving a point to strangers in the bread aisle. They're about reclaiming your voice when your nervous system is fried and your kid is chewing on a shopping list. They give you a way to respond with clarity, calm, and kindness without sacrificing your child's dignity or your own peace of mind. And the truth, sometimes you don't have to respond at all. Silence is a complete sentence. Your face can also say a whole lot. I use my facial expressions a lot when I don't feel like saying something because I don't want to upset my child. And you know what? Upsetting him is never worth me trying to help somebody through something that they can't understand, won't understand, and feel like it's important to say that in front of the child. They have ears. They can hear. So before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. Every time you respond with kindness, you're not just advocating for your child. You're changing the narrative, one banana aisle at a time. You are doing mighty work. Your child is lucky to have you in their corner. And if no one's told you lately, you're doing an incredible job. And I am so proud of you. You are listening to this podcast because you care enough to show up for them and fight for them in a way that they should never have to fight for. If you found today's episode helpful, please share it with another parent, teacher, or grandparent who might need to hear the message. And don't forget to subscribe. We've got more kindness-powered advocacy coming your way, and maybe some little spicy ones too. Until next time, stay mighty and stay calm. Bye.